A čisto od začetka. We are hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. Yesterday, Vidur requested Maitreya to speak more on Lord Varaha, his Lila. Then the great sage Maitreya said, O warrior, the inquiry made by you is just befitting a devotee because it concerns the incarnation of the personality of Godhead. He is the source of liberation from the chain of birth and death for all those who are otherwise destined to die. All who are in material existence, being averse to Krishna, they will die and again be born. But those who will surrender to Supreme Lord, they can be liberated from birth and death and all sufferings. And also we heard this verse. By hearing these topics, means about Supreme Lord, from the sage Narada, the son of King Uttanapada, that is Dhruva, was enlightened regarding the personality of Godhead, and he ascended to the abode of the Lord, placing his feet over the head of death. You remember when Dhruva ultimately got darshan of Narayan because of following the instructions of Narad Goswami exactly as they were given. So Supreme Lord appeared. Then he told him, now you go back to your palace, you will become a king and all this. So Dhruva was performing the duties of a king. Then at the end of his life, he went to forest and fully concentrated on Supreme Lord. Then when that aeroplane from Vaikuntha came to pick him up, Dhruva also saw death personified approaching, and he stepped on the head of that death as a step to step on that aeroplane. Means for pure devotee, there is no problem with death. Not under the influence of that, but he will step on it and will go to Vaikuntha. There is no problem for devotee dying, means giving up this body, because already he is fully identified with his real self. So it is like giving up some dress, giving up this material body. He will not be disturbed. Ata trapitihaso yam shruto me varnitah pura brahmana deva devena devanam anuprichatam. The history of the fight between the Lord as a boar and the demon Hiranyaksha was heard by me in a year long ago, as it was described by the foremost of the demigods, Brahma, when he was questioned by the other demigods. Ditir Dakshayanik Shatar Maricham Kashyapam Patim Apatya Kamachakame Sandhyayam Hrichayar Dita. Diti, daughter of Daksha, being afflicted with sex desire, begged her husband, Kashyapa, the son of Marichi, to have intercourse with her in the evening in order to beget a child. Ishtvagni jihvam payasa purusham yajusham patim nim locha tyarka asinam agnyagare samahitam. The sun was setting and the sage was sitting in trance after offering oblations to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, whose tongue is the sacrificial fire. In commentary, fire is considered to be the tongue of the personality of Godhead Vishnu, and oblations of grains and clarified butter offered to the fire are thus accepted by him. That is the principle of all sacrifices, of which Lord Vishnu is the master. In other words, the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu includes the satisfaction of all demigods and other living beings, like watering at the root of tree. Ditir Uvach. Esha mam tvat krite vidvan kama ata sharasana dunoti dinam vikramya rambham iva matangaja. In that place, the beautiful deity expressed her desire. O learned one, Cupid is taking his arrows and distressing me forcibly, as a mad elephant troubles a banana tree. Tad bhavan dahyamanayam sapatninam samriddhibhi prajavatinam bhadramte mai ayunktam anugraham. Therefore, you should be kind towards me by showing me complete mercy. I desire to have sons, and I am much distressed by seeing the opulence of my co-wives. By performing this act, you will become happy. Bhartari aptoru mananam lokan avishate yashah patir bhavad vido yasham prajaya nanu jayate. A woman is honored in the world by the benediction of her husband, and a husband like you will become famous by having children, because you are meant for the expansion of living entities. Pura pita no bhagavan daksho duhi trivatsala kam vrinitavaram vatsa iti aprichata nah pritak. In days long ago, our father, the most opulent Daksha, who was affectionate to his daughters, asked each of us separately whom we would prefer to select as our husband. Sa viditvatma janam no bhavam santana bhavana trayodasha dadatasam yaste shilam anuvrata. Our well-wishing father Daksha, after knowing our intentions, handed over 13 of his daughters unto you, and since then we have all been faithful. Here in commentary, each one of Diti's sisters was a mother of children. Therefore, since she was equally faithful to the same husband, why should she remain without children? Atha me kuru kalyanam kamam kamalalochana arto pasarpanam bhuman amogham hi mahiyasi. O lotus-eyed one, kindly bless me by fulfilling my desire. When someone in distress approaches a great person, his pleas should never go in vain. Iti tam vira maricha kripanam bahu bhashinim pratyahanu nayan vacha pravri da nanga kashmalam. O hero, that is Vidur, Diti, being thus afflicted by the contamination of lust, and therefore poor and talkative, was pacified by the son of Marichi in suitable words, that is Kashyapa. Kashmalam. Here Sai Maharaj is saying, when a man or woman is afflicted by the lust of sex desire, it is to be understood as sinful contamination. Kashyapa was engaged in his spiritual activities, but he did not have sufficient strength to refuse his wife, who was thus afflicted. He could have refused her with strong words expressing impossibility, but he was not as spiritually strong as Vidur. Vidur is addressed here as a hero because no one is stronger in self-control than a devotee of the Lord. It appears that Kashyapa was already inclined to have sexual enjoyment with his wife, and because he was not a strong man, he tried to dissuade her only with pacifying words. Esha te ham vidasyami priyam bhiru yat ichasi. Tasyah kamam nakah kuryat sidis trevargi kiyatah. O afflicted one, I shall forthwith gratify whatever desire is there to you, for who else but you is the source of the three perfections of liberation, or Purushartha goals of human life, like religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification. Here in commentary, Sai Maharaj is saying, the three perfections of liberation are religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification. For a conditioned soul, the wife is considered to be the source of liberation because she offers her services to the husband for his ultimate liberation. Conditional material existence is based on sense gratification, and if someone has the good fortune to get a good wife, he is helped by the wife in all respects. If one is disturbed in his conditional life, he becomes more and more entangled in material contamination. A faithful wife is supposed to cooperate with her husband in fulfilling all material desires so that he can then become comfortable and execute spiritual activities for the perfection of life. If, however, the husband is progressive in spiritual advancement, the wife undoubtedly shares in his activities, and thus both the wife and the husband profit in spiritual perfection. It is essential, therefore, that girls as well as boys be trained to discharge spiritual duties so that at the time of cooperation both will be benefited. The training of the boy is brahmacharya and the training of the girl is chastity. A faithful wife and spiritually trained brahmachari are a good combination for advancement of the human mission. Sarvashramam upadaya swashramena kalatravan vyasanarnavam ateti jala yaneir yatharnavam. As one can cross over the ocean with sea-going vessels, one can cross the dangerous situation of the material ocean by living with a wife. This same point is there. Yes. Same principle is here. Yam ahur atmano hyardham shreyas kamasya manini yasyam swadhuram adyasya pumams charati vijvara. O respectful one, a wife is so helpful that she is called the better half of a man's body because of her sharing in all auspicious activities. A man can move without anxiety and trusting all responsibilities to his wife. Yam ashritendriya ratin durjayan itarashramai vayam jayema helabir dasyun durga patiryata. As a fourth commander very easily conquers invading plunderers, by taking shelter of a wife, one can conquer the senses, which are unconquerable in the other social orders. Navayam prabhavastam tvam anukartum griheshwari apyayusha va kartsnyena ye chanya guna gridnava. O Queen of the home, we are not able to act like you, nor could we repay you for what you have done, even if we worked for our entire life or even after death. To repay you is not possible, even for those who are admirers of personal qualities. Here Sai Maharaj is telling, so much glorification of a woman by her husband indicates that he is handpicked or is talking lightly in joke. Kashyapa meant that householders living with wives enjoy the heavenly blessings of sense enjoyment and at the same time have no fear of going down to hell. The man in the renounced order of life has no wife and may be driven by sex desire to seek another woman or another's wife and thus go to hell. In other words, the so-called man of the renounced order who has left his house and wife goes to hell if he again desires sexual pleasure, knowingly or unknowingly. In that way, the householders are on the side of safety. Therefore, husbands as a class cannot repay their debt to women either in this life or in the next. Even if they engage themselves in repaying the woman throughout their whole lives, it is still not possible. Not all husbands are as able to appreciate the good qualities of their wives, but even though one is able to appreciate these qualities, it is still not possible to repay the debt of the wife to the wife. Such extraordinary praises by a husband for his wife are certainly in the mode of joking. The thing is, if one left household life to take sannyas, then he should do it when he is already free of this desire. Otherwise, if he again desires, that will be spiritual fall. But there are some who are Naishtiki brahmacharis from birth. They never get married. Not necessarily they will go through that ashram, because in previous lives already they did so much spiritual practice that they don't have such desire. So for them, this is not applicable. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur told that what is good and what is bad is individual case, according to his present qualification. For someone having 5 wives is pious, because in his past life, maybe he was a monkey, he had many like she monkeys, 20, 30, like this. So to have 5 wives is pious. For someone else, 1 wife is pious. And for someone, It is not necessary. So we cannot apply that rule to this person. One who does not have any this desire, we should say, no, it is pious to have 5 wives. No. That is progressive for that person, pious for him. So always what is to be done and what is not to be done, what is good, what is bad, it has to be seen according to eligibility. And that is why it is so important to have a realized guru who will see the qualification, because not all instructions are for all. And if there is a wrong instruction, then there will be disturbance. So Guru has to see what is progressive for his disciple, and he will engage him accordingly for gradual advancement, and he will also change on the way. When he will see that that was already fulfilled, so then he will change. Now you don't do this, like this, gradual. So it is ongoing process. It will continue till Golok Vrindavan. We have to be under guidance. And also in Goloka, we are also under the guidance of personal associates of Radha Krishna, serving Radha Krishna under their guidance and order. So guidance is always necessary for us. Athapi kamam etam te prajatyai karavanyalam yatha mam nati rochanti muhurtam pratipalaya. Even though it is not possible to repay you, I shall satisfy your sex desire immediately for the sake of begetting children. But you must wait for only a few seconds so that others may not reproach me. Esha ghora tama vela ghoranam ghora darshana charanti yasyam bhutani bhuteshanu charaniha. Yes. This particular time is most inauspicious because at this time the horrible looking ghosts and constant companions of the Lord of the Ghosts are visible. Yes. Here in commentary, Kashyapa has already told his wife Diti to wait for a while, and now he warns her that failure to consider the particular time will result in punishment from the ghosts and evil spirits who move during this time, along with their master, Lord Rudra. Like during Sandhya time, there are 3 Sandhyas in a day. Sandhya means like when the day breaks from night to day, like at sunrise, then at noon, and at sunset. There is Sandhya time. So at that time, one should not eat, and one should not sleep, and one should not have sexual intercourse. It will be inauspicious. And you will find, I think it is Brihadaranyaka Upanishad or Chandogya Upanishad, I'm not sure, but all Upanishad, they are one. There it is stated that having sexual intercourse during daytime is sinful. In nighttime, it is not sinful, but at daytime, it is always sinful. And so, it is there in Shastra. Etasyam sadvi sandhyayam bhagavan bhuta bhavana parito bhuta parshadbir vrishenatati bhutarat. Lord Shiva, the king of the ghosts, sitting on the back of his bull carrier, travels at this time, accompanied by ghosts who follow him for their welfare. Shmashana chakranila dhuli dhumra vikirna vidyota jatha kalapa Bhasma va guntamala rukmadeho devas tribih pashyati devaraste. Lord Shiva's body is reddish and he is unstained, but he is covered with ashes. His hair is dusty from the whirlwind dust of the burning crematorium. He is the younger brother of your husband, and he sees with his 3 eyes. Trilochan. Yes, here. The husband of one's sister is considered one's brother. By that social relationship, Lord Shiva happened to be the younger brother of Kashyapa. Kashyapa warned his wife that because Lord Shiva would see their sex indulgence, the time was not appropriate. Diti might argue that they would enjoy sex life in a private place, but Kashyapa reminded her that Lord Shiva has 3 eyes, called the sun, moon, and fire, and one cannot escape his vigilance any more than one can escape Vishnu. Although seen by the police, a criminal is sometimes not immediately punished. The police wait for the proper time to apprehend him. The forbidden time for sexual intercourse would be noted by Lord Shiva, and Diti would meet with proper punishment by giving birth to a child of ghostly character or a godless impersonalist. Kashyapa foresaw this, and thus he warned his wife Diti. Yes, we cannot hide in this world. So many witnesses are there. Ultimately, Supreme Lord, he sees everything, but other witnesses also are there. Earth, and there in Ajamil's case, we will hear 13 witnesses. They all see what kind of sinful activities we do. Nayasya loke svajana parova natyadrito nota kaschidvikarhya vaya vrater ya charana pavidham ashas mahejam bata bhukta bhogam. Lord Shiva regards no one as his relative, yet there is no one who is not connected with him. He does not regard anyone as very favorable or abominable. We respectfully worship the remnants of his foodstuff, and we vow to accept what is rejected by him. So Kashyapa informed his wife that just because Lord Shiva happened to be his brother-in-law, that should not encourage her in her offense towards him. Yasya na vadyacharita manishino grinanti avidya patalam bibhitsava nirasta samyati shayo piyat swayam pishacha charyam acharad gati satam. Although no one in the material world is equal to or greater than Lord Shiva, and although his unimpeachable character is followed by great souls to dismantle the mass of nations, he nevertheless remains as if a devil to give salvation to all devotees of the Lord. Here in commentary, Lord Shiva's uncivilized, devilish characteristics are never abominable because he teaches the sincere devotees of the Lord how to practice detachment from material enjoyment. He is called Mahadev, or the greatest of all demigods, and no one is equal to or greater than him in the material world. He is almost equal with Lord Vishnu. Although he always associates with Maya, Durga, he is above the reactionary stage of the three modes of material nature, and although he is in charge of devilish characters in the mode of ignorance, he is not affected by such association. There is one bona fide sampradaya also, Rudra Sampradaya. Their original Acharya, Guru is Shiva. He is teaching pure devotion to Krishna. But it depends again. Shiva also teaches other things for gradual advancement. Only those who are very sincere, he will teach them devotion. Hasanti Yasya Charitam Hi Durbaga Svatman Ratasya Vidusha Samihitam Yeir Vastra Malya Bharananu Lepane Shva Bhojanam Svatmata Yo Palalitam. Unfortunate, foolish persons, not knowing that he is engaged in his own self, laugh at him. Such foolish persons engage in maintaining the body, which is eatable by dogs, with dresses, ornaments, garlands, and ointments. They don't know Shiva is a realized soul. So they think this is his very bad character, putting ashes like this. But we are putting garlands, ornaments, ointments, everything. That oil, massage, and fragrance, everything they're putting because they think they are these bodies. But Shiva does not think this. So they cannot understand his character. Brahmadayo yat krita setupala yat karanam vishwam idam chamaya agya kariyasya pishachacharya aho vibhumnascharitam vidambanam. Demigods like Brahma also follow the religious rites observed by him. He is the controller of the material energy, which causes the creation of the material world. He is great, and therefore his devilish characteristics are simply imitation. Outwardly only is like that, but inside he is all auspicious. Maitreya Uvach Saivam Samvidite Bhartra Man Maton Mati Tendriya Jagraha Vaso Brahmarsher Vrishaliva Gata Trapa. Maitreya said, Diti was thus informed by her husband, but she was pressed by Cupid for sexual satisfaction. She caught hold of the clothing of the great Brahmana sage, just like a shameless public prostitute. Sa viditvatha bharyayas tam nirbandham vikarmani natva dishta erahasi taya to paviveshahi. Understanding his wife's purpose, he was obliged to perform the forbidden act, and thus after offering his obeisances unto worshipable faith, he lay with her in a secluded place. Yes, it came to my mind before already about Haridas Thakur. Here, Sai Maharaj also is in a commentary mentioned that here his wife attacked him like a prostitute. And Haridas Thakur was also, but because he was pure devotee, he would not be caught. But Kashyapa was caught. Ato pasprishya salilam pranan ayamya vakyata dhyayan jajapa virajam brahma jyoti sanatanam. Thereafter, the Brahmana took his bath in the water and controlled his speech by practicing trance, meditating on the eternal effulgence, and chanting the holy Gayatri hymns with his mouth. The Brahma here in this. Here Brahma means Gayatri hymn. I thought Brahma Jyoti. Ditistu vririta tena karma vadyena bharata upasangamya viprarshim adho mukhya piya bhashata. O son of the Bharata family, Diti, after this, went nearer to her husband, her face lowered because of her faulty action. She spoke as follows. Diti Ruach, Name Garbam Imam Brahman Bhutanam Rishabho Vadhit Rudrah Patir Hi Bhutanam Yasya Karavam Amhasam. The beautiful Diti said, My dear Brahmana, kindly see that my embryo is not killed by Lord Shiva, the Lord of all living entities, because of the great offense I have committed against him. Namo Rudraya Mahate. So you see how powerful this karma is. Though you know it is wrong, still you cannot resist. Namo Rudraya Mahate Deva Yograya Midushe Shivaya Nyasta Dandaya Drita Dandaya Manyave. Let me offer my obeisances unto the angry Lord Shiva, who is simultaneously the very ferocious great demigod and the fulfiller of all material desires. He is all auspicious and forgiving, but his anger can immediately move him to chastise. Sanah prasidatam bhamo bhagavan urvanugraha vyadhasyapi anukampyanam strinam devah sati pati. Let him be pleased with us, since he is my brother-in-law, the husband of my sister Sati. Sati is also daughter of Daksha. Later in 4th canto we will know. Daksha also could not understand the character of Shiva. He thought he is disrespecting me. But Shiva is actually giving due respect to all. Because he is on transcendental platform, so he is giving proper respect, not flattering or praising, but really proper respect. And he can do mentally also, as that time he did. But Daksha, by his external vision, he thought he's not respecting me, he's disrespecting me, and then ultimately he committed offense to Shiva and he had to suffer for that. Sati also gave up her body because of that. He is also the worshipable Lord of all women. he is the personality of all opulences and can show mercy towards women who are excused even by the uncivilized hunters. Maitreya Uvac. Sva sarga syashisham lokyam ashasanam pravepatim nivrita sandhya niyamo bharyam aha prajapati. Maitreya said, the great sage Kashyapa thus addressed his wife, who was trembling because of fear that her husband was offended. She understood that he had been dissuaded from his daily duties of offering evening prayers, that Sandhya, yet she desired the welfare of her children in the world. Kashyapa Uvac. Aprayatyat atmanaste doshan mohurtikat uta man nideshati charena devanam chati helanat. The learned Kashyapa said, because of your minds being polluted, because of defilement of the particular time, because of your negligence of my directions, and because of your being apathetic to the demigods, everything was inauspicious. Bhavishyata tava bhadrau abhadre jatha radhamau lokan sapalam trimschandi muhur akrandayi shyataha. O haughty one, I think this is haughty means one who is doing hastily things. Haughty. O haughty one, you will have two contemptuous sons born of your condemned womb. Unlucky woman, they will cause constant lamentation to all the three worlds. Let me see what is the meaning of haughty. No, it is arrogantly superior and disdainful. Arrogant, proud, vain, like this, self-important, egoistic, and all this. Yes. Haughty. So you will find there is a science. One devotee I saw, she made one book with all these references from Shastra, from Ayurveda and also from these Shastras, how there will be good progeny if you conceive in proper time and in a proper way like this, and about such things also, inappropriate times and in a wrong way, and then, so she called her book Divination, and she gave many references why now society is so degraded. It is because children are produced in a wrong way at the wrong time in all this. But if they would do it in a proper way, then there would be divination, means godly society. But of course now it is Kali Yuga. How you will convince people? They have no faith in Shastra. But there are many references in Shastra explaining about this proper time for conceiving children, and inappropriate and ways and everything. Praninam hanya mananam dinanam akritagasam strinam nigrihya mananam Kopiteshu Mahatmasu. They will kill poor, faultless living entities, torture women, and enrage the great souls. Tada Vishweshwara Krudho Bhagavaloka Bhavana Hanishyati Avatiryaso Yathadrin Shata Parvadrik. At that time, the Lord of the universe, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the well-wisher of all living entities, will descend and kill them, just as Indra smashes the mountains with his thunderbolts. So you know, this is all pre-arranged, but it also considers these statements in Shastra. You know, Jai and Bijay, they are pure devotees, but because Supreme Lord wanted to make this pastime of fighting, he made that lila that they were cursed by 4 Kumaras and they fell. They had to be born as demons. This was their first birth as demons. And so the arrangement, how they were born, is also according to this inappropriate time, in inappropriate way, all this. So it is all scientific. Tada, yes. Then Supreme Lord will kill them and liberate them, but next life again 3 times they have to take birth. Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, then Ravan, Kumbhakarna, and Dantavakra and Shishupal. Ditir Uvach. Vadam Bhagavata Shakshat Suna Bodhara Bahuna Ashase Putrayor Mahyam Makrudat Brahmanat Prabho. Diti said, "It is very good that my sons will be magnanimously killed by the arms of the Personality of Godhead with his Sudarshan weapon. O my husband, may they never be killed by the wrath of the Brahmana devotees." Yes. Only Krishna can liberate if he kills. That is also in Vedanta Sutra, commentary by Baladev Vidyabhushan, that why they are liberated, because when they are killed by Supreme Lord, then their gross body and subtle body is also destroyed. That was a product of their aversion to Krishna, so that cause is removed. So they now see with different vision Supreme Lord, and they develop some affection for him. So because of that affection, they are actually liberated. Because without devotion, no one can get liberation. So some devotion always must be there. So those who are killed also, they feel this. Na brahma danda dagdasya na bhuta bhayadasya cha narakash chanu grinanti yam yonim asogata. A person who is condemned by a brahmana or is always fearful to other living entities is not favored either by those who are already in hell or by those in the species in which he is born. A practical example of a condemned species of life is the dog. Dogs are so condemned that they never show any sympathy to their contemporaries. But in Western countries, they think the dog is best friend of human. Because he's very simple. Only if you give him to eat, that will satisfy him, and he will always be faithful to you. He will want to serve you. People, they are disappointed with other relationships, mostly partner relationship, wife and like this, or something. Then when that is finished or problematic like this, then they will find dog, because dog will not behave like that. He will always be faithful to you. Only you have to feed him. Kasha, only this verse I will read. Kasha Povach. Krita Shokanu Tapena Sadyah Pratya Vamarsanat Bhagavatyuru Manacha Bhave Mai Api Chadarat Putrasyaiva Cha Putranam Bhavi Taikah Satamata Gasyanti Yat Yasha Shudam Bhagavat Yasha Sa Samam. The learned Kashyapa said, because of your lamentation, penitence, and proper deliberation, and also because of your unflinching faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and your adoration for Lord Shiva and me, one of the sons, that is Prahlad, of your son, that is Hiranyakashipu, will be an approved devotee of the Lord, and his fame will be broadcast equally with that of the Personality of Godhead. So her grandson will be Prahlad. Let me see what is the meaning of penitence. The action of feeling or showing sorrow and regret for having done wrong. Repentance. Yes. So because of her, she knew she was doing wrong, but she was sorry for that. I'm doing wrong. So that is also beneficial. Lamentation, so this will happen. Our Gurudev also told that sometimes we are so much controlled by lust or some other anarthas, we have to try to remove that, but even if we fail, that effort which we gave to try to control that will not go in vain. It will have some effect. Next time, that desire will come with lesser force. Even if you fail, but that you should try as much as possible. Even if you fail, that still there will be some benefit. And also in 11th Canto, Krishna says that those who have awakened faith in me, they are eligible for Bhakti Yoga. Karmis, Gyanis, they cannot. They have desire for non-eternal things and they want liberation. But devotees awakened faith in me, so they are eligible for Bhakti Yoga. But you will not find that everyone will be immediately pure devotee without any anarthas and these things. No. So Krishna there says that if someone, such my devotees, they know that this karma is not good and it will bring suffering, they know, but still they are unable to give up, then they should not stop worshipping me, thinking like, oh, everything useless, I cannot control, so better no. They should go on worshipping me, and when they will try to fulfill those desires, they should not do it adoration, with interest or with approval, that this is something good, and like, no, with condemning, I'm doing wrong, I will ruin myself, and with this condemnation and regret all this, if they will do, and at the same time worship Krishna, then gradually they can purify. But if you go on sense gratification with the mood of, yeah, no problem, it is good, it's nice, what all these rules and regulations, all this, then that will be increased. You cannot be freed from that. There is that verse is there. It is very dukkha, the dukkha darha, with condemning you should accept. Like here, and because of this, she got good result. And those devotees who will try like that, they will also be blessed by Krishna, and they will gradually purify all those things. But we should not praise or encourage or, yes, this is very good. That will not help. So, tomorrow we are having Srila Bhaktinandan Sai Maharaj here for the program, and Monday also. Tuesday we are going to Pula, Croatia, and we'll come back on Saturday, I don't know when. So we'll have next Skype program on Sunday, next Sunday. That is also Ekadashi. So till that time, you can hear some other Harikatha, or you can yourself go through some devotional scriptures. Hari Bol.